Hey folks, Poverty Podcast from here. Well, this is my 2015 John Deere 1025r. What we're going to do today is change the hydraulic and transmission fluid in it. What we'll be using is high guard, low viscosity transmission hydraulic fluid. You're going to need your hydraulic filter and some tools to take the filter off. 13mm socket and a 6mm Allen head. A drain pan. So under your tractor, there's your drain right there. Again, that's a 13mm. So we're going to drain all the fluid out. Just make sure you have something big enough to catch it. Some people have said there's up to 16 liters in it. And just looking up, there's your hydraulic filter we need to change also. And one little tip, a lot of videos don't explain, is I like to have all the cylinders completely closed. I don't want everything extended. I want as much fluid that are in the cylinders and lines to actually be in the hydraulic tank in the back of the tractor. So one thing I've actually done, because there's not a whole lot of room in here unless you actually put your tires up on blocks, is I've just loosened off the drain bolt a little bit. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of room here. And it's good, it's nice and clear fluid. Again, the fellow that I bought it from didn't own it for very long, so he wasn't sure the last time that this would have been done. Under the seat, I'll remove my fill cap too. It will actually let it drain a little bit quicker. So once it's done draining, I'm actually going to clean where the bolt goes in, as well as we're going to clean the bolt nice and clean. You're going to check your washer and then you're going to reinstall this. Alright, so we got the drain bolt installed. Next we're going to remove the hydraulic filter. What you want to do is make sure it's nice and clean around the area, that way you're not getting any crud inside the hydraulics. And make sure you have a drain pan underneath of it too. And like always, before you reinstall your new filter, you want to make sure this area is nice and clean and the old gasket's not on there. So here's the new filter. Before we reinstall this, you want to make sure you put a little bit of oil around the gasket. Again, there's the model number. Just make sure when you reinstall your new oil filter or hydraulic filter not to over tighten it. On the top of the filter has your dates that it was manufactured. This is February 17th, 2015. So there's a good chance that this is the first time that this has received the hydraulic service. So the next step by your rear PTO is inside of here there's a long magnet with a metal screen. What we need to do is take that out and clean it and reinstall it. So what you have to do is this hose here, there's two clamps, top and bottom. We need to slide this hose up, and that way we can unscrew this and take this out. Now we should be able to do it with the tire still installed. So I put the little access to the PTO up, the little cover. So what I've done is I put the two clamps in the center, and what we're going to do is slide this rubber hose up, and that way it will disconnect it from where we need to pull out the bolt head. Alright, so I got the hose up. So what we're going to do is take out the 6mm Allen head, and we're going to pull out the screen and the magnet. All right, so this is the screen. So you can see there are some metal flakes on it. Again, I don't know if this has ever been done before, and this is just under 300 hours. So what you want to do is clean off all the metal flakes really well. As well, inside you can see there's a magnet. You need to take out this magnet and clean that also. And that's a magnet, so you're going to clean this. Once the screen and magnet are cleaned, you reinstall the magnet inside. And this was the housing that it was screwed into. So you can see there's a little O-ring here. So that just slides in just like that. You reinstall this. Before you reinstall it though, on the surface, just make sure this is nice and clean, as well as on the tractor. Just want to let you know, when you are pushing this in, when you get to the point where the O-ring makes contact, you got to give it a little bit more force, and you'll almost hear like a little pop where the O-ring pops in. That way you know it's in properly. Reinstall your 6mm hex bolt. Put your hose down, and then your hose clamps, the one on the bottom and the one at the top. Alright, so we've got the hose back on, and we have the upper and lower clamp on. Make sure when you put this on though that it's pushed down to where the original distance it was from here. And again, this is probably the hardest part in doing this, is getting these clamps off as well. This 6mm hex bolt was in there some tight, so just be careful not to strip that. So the next step is to put our hydraulic fluid in. So we're going to put it in right here on top underneath the seat. Just make sure the area around here is nice and clean. So it says it takes 13 liters. However, people have said it's actually taken more. So I'm going to start off with putting about 12 liters in. So I put in over 12 liters, and then I checked the dipstick level, and it was still not showing on it, so I added another liter, and it's actually showing on the full. So what I've done is I've reinstalled the cap, and we'll start the tractor, and we'll run through the hydraulics. That way you got to get the oil through the filter and whatnot too, and then we'll check the oil level again. So I've checked the fluid level. I added about another 1.5 liters, and I've also checked for leaks in all the areas that we've done the work to, and there's no leaks. So I hope you found this video helpful. The next video is actually doing the fluid change in the front axle. And again, I have quite a few videos on maintenance on the John Deere 1025 if you want to check them out. But like always, I'm on my own maintenance schedule now. Again, it appears the last owner wasn't the best at doing maintenance on the tractor, so it certainly needed it. The fluid was clean, but you looked at the date on the filter. And like always, if you have any questions or comments or tips, make sure you post below. Thanks for watching.